If you're like me 4 years ago, you may be wondering, how can I get my dream physique as quickly as possible? Well, after 4 years of training and achieving that physique, I myself can tell you exactly what it takes to achieve just that in as little time as possible. So let's get straight into it. First thing is, you need to set realistic expectations. Be honest with yourself. Tell yourself, what physique am I aspiring to be like? What's the dream body that I'm trying to get? Be realistic with yourself. Don't give yourself 6 months to try and look like Sam Sulek or Chris Bumstead. It's not gonna happen. And keep in mind, it could also take you much longer than you expect. For example, for me, I told myself by next year, when I first started, when I was 14, I said by next year, I'm going to have my dream body. I genuinely thought in 1 year I would get it. And guess what? That was so far from the truth. It took me 4 years, so it took me 4 times longer than I expected. Don't think it's going to come quick. So after you've set realistic expectations, here is the most important thing, is that you need to stay consistent. I want to tell you first why staying consistent is so important, because please don't even think about the training, don't even think about the diet, don't think about recovery, don't think about anything else if you're not going to stay consistent. How on earth do you think you're going to get your dream body? You're going to make any progress if you don't stay consistent. You can make as much progress as you want in 6 months, and all that is going to go away if you don't stay consistent, if you just quit. But I'm going to tell you exactly how you can stay consistent. And some YouTubers even charge for this information. They sell you a course on this. Don't worry, I'm gonna give all of this for free. So the way to actually stay consistent is you need to do this. First, you need to identify what your dream outcome is, which we've already done. We've already identified what your dream physique is and what you're trying to achieve. Yeah? Now you need to figure out a way to get there. Basically, the path that you need to take. In this case, that's going to be the training, the diet, the recovery. Yeah? So once you've got that, what I need you to do is very clearly in your mind form a connection between these two. So when you think of your dream body, what I need you to also think about is the training, the diet, and the recovery, all the factors that are required in order to get there. So let's say you then have a day out where you're with your friends or something happens and all of a sudden you don't have the motivation to train. Oh, maybe we'll go tomorrow. We'll do it another day. Once you think about it this way, it's, okay, what's your goal? To get this dream body. Okay. What's the path to get there? That means you're going to consistently have to stick to the training, the diet, and the recovery. And do I want to get there as soon as possible? Yes, I do. So if I can go today, I must go today. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I know this is very strict. It's like I'm telling you, you can't take any rest days, or you can't ever stop the gym. Don't worry. There will be days where you can't do it. Of course. There'll be maybe a catastrophe happens within your family, or your body, you get an injury. There are times where you literally can't train. So that's fine. But in those rare cases, what you then do, move that training to another day where you will actually make up for it. Because let's be honest, taking a day off is not really going to damage your progress that much, but here is what it's going to do for you. If you take a day off, especially when you start, you're going to lose that momentum. And it's very hard to get back on the groove of things. Yeah? So what I need you to do is, for at least for the first few months, stay so consistent. Stick to the diet, stick to the training, stick to everything. You need to become so consistent to the point where it becomes second nature to you. At least for me, it took me a few months to get to the point where I didn't think about going gym. Now gym is second nature. It just happens. I wake up, I get ready, and I go. I don't even think, should I go gym? It just happens. And that's the biggest thing. Please don't worry about the training. Don't worry about the diet. First, worry about becoming consistent. Get yourself in the gym. It doesn't matter what diet you follow. It doesn't matter what training you follow. Please don't stress about that. And this is something I'm not hearing enough people say, enough people talk about. What's most important is the consistency. Once you're consistent, the rest, we can think about the rest later. But first, make sure you're consistent. Tell yourself, I'm not going to stop until I get this dream physique. After we've got the hardest thing out the way, then we can think about the training. So how do we train? Let's start with a program. You can do bro split, you can do push-pull legs, you can do upper lower. There's many programs you can do. Just search them up online. It's very easy to follow. If you want, I can make another video on this. No problem, that's easy. But just focus on a program and find something that you genuinely enjoy. Because if you can make training fun for you, if there's a program that you genuinely like, that you go into the gym and you look forward to doing. That's what's going to motivate you to go to the gym. If you enjoy going to the gym, you're going to stick to it. And if you can stick to it, you're going to become consistent. That's the most important part. Consistency is key. So once you can do that, my next advice to you is please focus on the form. I wish I could tell this to my younger self. Focus on your form. Form is the most important thing when it comes to the training, because don't worry so much about the exercises and the weight and whatever you do, because the form is one of the most important parts of it. If you can properly execute exercises safely and with correct form, consistent form, you will basically make so much more muscle than someone who maybe is doing a better exercise, but they're not doing the right form, they're ego lifting. And that's one thing about form, is you need to completely take ego lifting out of it. And I know it's very hard, it's easier said than done. But you need to completely forget about the numbers, the weight, and just prioritize the way you execute the exercise. That's most important. Progressive overload is one of the most important too, because what it does is it's just increasing a factor of your training week over week. So that could be increasing the number of reps you do, the amount of weight, the number of sets. You reduce your rest time. Another thing is you may not be able to improve the weight you do week over week, and this will happen as you become more advanced. But what's also something that you can do, which is very important, is that you can improve the form week over week. So now that we've got the training out the way, we can also focus on the diet. Again, so many things, there's so much information out there for free that you can look on the diet, because these things, although they're very important, what's most important is consistency. But some advice that I can give you for diet is that if you're a beginner, and all beginners should do this, go on a lean bulk. That's the easiest thing I can tell you. If you're skinny, especially if you're skinny, go on a lean bulk. Lean bulk just means you're eating more calories than you're doing now. So you're in a calorie surplus, but a lean bulk means you're eating healthy foods. So please don't make this a dirty bulk. Don't listen to what people say that you need to go on a cart, you need to go on a bulk. When you're a beginner, go on a lean bulk. Avoid dirty bulks by all costs. Avoid them. Just do a lean bulk, which means you eat healthy foods. So whatever food you're eating, and listen, you've clicked on this video, let's be honest. Be honest with me. You're a smart person. You know what healthy foods are. You know what healthy foods to eat. You know you have to eat your fish. You know you have to eat your meat, your rice, your pasta, whatever is healthy. You know you have to eat that healthy food. So eat that, and what you need to do is increase the proportion of your diet that's healthy. So eat more of those foods, and over time, progressively deload off of the bad foods. So eat less sugar, less chocolate week to week, and over time, a few months, maybe a year, after that, you will completely remove all the fast food, all the rubbish food that's in your diet that's actually slowing your progress, and you will have healthy foods which are rich in protein. Then, protein is very important too. How much protein should you be eating? You should have around at least a gram per pound of body weight, or roughly 2 grams per kg. So I'm 83 kg. I should be having around 166 grams of protein every single day, and that's your upper limit. Don't get above that. Any protein amount above your limit of 2 grams basically per kg is not actually going to give you any more muscle. Studies have shown that beyond that, you're not actually improving any muscle building capacity. You're not actually building any more muscle. Now, there can still be a benefit to having more protein if you can, because protein is very satiating. It fills you up, and it's not calorie dense. So for example, a steak has so much more protein and so many fewer calories than, for example, cake is mostly sugar, carbohydrates. So it doesn't really have a lot of protein. You know what I'm trying to say? So prioritize the foods that are high in protein and low in calories. And then over time, slowly stop eating the foods that are unhealthy, like cakes, sugars, chocolates, because all of those things are taking up a lot of calories in your diet, but they're not actually providing a lot of muscle building benefit. So that's easy as that. So that's all you need to know for diet. And then, of course, we can't forget about recovery. Make sure you're just sleeping at least 9 hours every single day. And I mean sleeping. So when you go to bed, don't count the second you get to bed as your sleeping time, because obviously you're not going to sleep straight away. Maybe it'll take 20 minutes. If you're like me and you have difficulty getting to sleep, it might take even half an hour to go sleep sometimes. So count the time that you're in bed, not the time that you're sleeping. So for example, tell yourself, instead of saying I'm gonna have 9 hours in bed today, because realistically you'll probably only be sleeping 8 out of those 9. Instead, what you should do is have 10, 11 hours of time in bed, because naturally, not all of that time will be spent sleeping. You'll be in your bed, maybe it'll take you half an hour to sleep. Maybe you'll wake up in the middle of the night. So actually 10 hours of time in bed might actually just be 9 hours of sleep. But 9 hours of sleep is the minimum, which is the best amount you should be getting. Anything less is going to actually mean you're missing out on building muscle. It was always good to have things in moderation. So sleep a good amount, at least 9 hours. It's good if you can get 8. It's good if you can get 7. Like, you won't die. But if your goal is to build muscle and get to your dream body as quickly as possible, you need to be sleeping like 9 hours a day. Especially if you're younger, if you're a teenager, maybe 9.5, 10. But don't get beyond, 11 or 12. That's crazy. That's way too much, which is not actually going to give you any benefit. And in fact, studies have shown that it just reduces your quality of your sleep. So you may be sleeping more, but you'll wake up groggy and you actually won't even make that much more progress. Make sure you're giving yourself some rest days a week. Don't train every single day. Yeah. So if your goal is to build muscle as quickly as possible, if I were you, I would do 5 to 6 days of training a day. So that's it. That's everything you need to know in order to get to your dream body. Also, I'm going to be helping some people with free one-to-one coaching. Just click on the link below. There will only be 5 spots. So first come, first serve. Also, you know how it usually goes. My name is Emeka. If you found some value in this video, what I need you to do is please like, comment, subscribe, do everything for me. Click the bell. You know what? I help you, you help me. And I'll see you in the next one.